Wow, what a time to have to sneeze, huh? This is Martin Drummond with Progressive News. As usual, all the same problems, just back after a long hiatus. And I want to talk about this.
Along with Elizabeth and Amy, we sat for 2 weeks listening to the impeachment process. And here's what I think the horror and the danger of what happened was: not only the acquittal of Trump, who in fact committed impeachable offenses and obstructed Congress, it is the precedent that it set. The precedent that it set. And what that precedent is about now is, in the future, you're going to have presidents who say, hey, Governor, you want highway money? You better support me, or you're not going to get it, because I am the president. I can do anything I want. Hey, Congress, you want to investigate me? Don't be ridiculous. Who cares about the Congress? Who cares about the separation of powers? Who cares about the Constitution of the president? I'm the president of the United States. I have all of the power, and I'm able to intimidate members of my own party. The saddest aspect of this whole thing is you have Republicans in the Senate who knew better. They knew that Donald Trump is a crook. They knew that Donald Trump is a cheat, but they didn't have the guts, with the exception of Romney, to vote against him. That is a sad day.
Okay. So here's the problem with, I mean, Bernie's right about everything he said, except for the name of the video is acquitting Trump sets a very bad precedent. But what, I mean, they're really blaming everybody except for Trump. I mean, Trump is the criminal. Trump is breaking all the rules, all the laws. So, really don't blame everybody else. You know, blame him. He's the one who's committing the impeachable acts, as Bernie says. You know, he's the one who intimidates all the Republican senators. So, you know, don't be too hard on all these people who are, I mean, they have to deal with that, you know, and the fact is he'll still be president after all this stuff is done. And the Democrats made the mistake. I mean, if you lose, then it's your fault, right? I mean, so they made the mistake of impeaching him without, I mean, if I were a congressman and I knew that it couldn't get past the Senate, matter of fact, they always make sure. So they knew before they started this whole thing that they couldn't get it through the Senate, which meant, you know, it was a really dangerous thing. I mean, it was more than dangerous. It was just out and out obvious, right? I mean, it would be different if they didn't know, but the fact is that Congress and the Senate, they can always make sure, absolutely sure, whether they're going to be able to pass something ahead of time. Yeah, things could change and they could lose, but they knew they weren't going to get it past the Senate. And you know, this has just been good for Trump. This whole thing has been good for Trump, and the thing before with the investigation of him for collusion, same thing, man. They knew they were never going to get it. You know, so you can blame establishment Democrats for that. Because they did it, and they knew they were going to lose, and they knew it was going to increase benefit Trump. And I don't know, maybe Bernie deserves some criticism here. I mean, he's so... And I understand why he hates Trump. So do I. You know, the guy's a buffoon. It's pretty obvious what his agenda is. He's a racist, a homophobe. I mean, that's just a couple I can think of right off the top of my head. So, you know, I get that. But Bernie, you know, talk to Pelosi. I mean, she's the idiot here. Don't start something you can't finish. You know? Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Okay. Well, that's it. I'm just starting back up, and I don't want to try too hard. So, have a nice weekend. This is Martin Drummond with Progressive News. I just want to see how this is going. Forgive me, but I haven't been here for a while, and I want to actually see it. Actually, I think I want to do it in a different viewer. A different browser. Because I think I get a lot of echo if I do it in the same browser. For those of you who are interested in how to live stream, you might learn something. Actually, I think I want to do it in a different viewer. Yeah, it's working. Hey, thanks for bearing with me. Take it easy, guys.